Welcome everyone. Thank you for joining me. So let's start with just a feet shoulders width apart stance. Traditional method is feet together. I like to encourage you to create that little bit of space in the hip area so we have that proper alignment. Play around with the weight in your feet for a second. So relax the foot and just feel that connection. Remember, our whole body's healing starts at the ground up, and it starts with everyday life, with how we stand. So when we're here, play around, moving left and right. How does this affect the hips? How does this affect the spine and the shoulders, right? So if we have this habit, or if we have this habit with the knees, this is all connected. So eventually we want it to be normal that we have feet shoulders width apart and perfectly straight. Then that weight is centered over the whole foot. So it's not to the arches or the outsides. It's centered side to side. And then what's next? That lower back area. How do we get that lower back relaxed so that it's not locked with our knees and we don't have that kink? We use our core, we use the abs and the belly a little bit, not too tense, but just a little bit to help draw the navel towards the spine. The hips are nice and level. All right, from here, take a few breaths. Draw those fingers down to the earth, palms facing forward. As you stand here in mountain pose, feel that connection left and right. Find a neutral head position. Close the eyes to challenge your balance a little bit. And as you close the eyes, gently lift the head. There's a string pulling you from above. Find that weight sinking down to the feet so you're growing roots into the earth. Draw those fingers down a little bit more so those shoulders relax. And take a few breaths all the way down to the belly. So we inhale and we fill the lungs fully. And then we let that belly expand a little bit. And then as we exhale, the navel draws towards the spine. 2 more breaths. Release those shoulders a little bit more. And we'll inhale and draw the arms up. Starting with half sun salutations, we exhale, bend into the knees and fold forward. Feel that connection to your feet as you fold. We're going to take a breath here and just hang. Find that length through the lower back by shimmying the ribs a little bit more. And then we're going to inhale, flat back, so we look up and out. This is finding more length through the legs. Straighten them. Find that length, and then exhale and fold again. Now when we inhale and come all the way up, feel that flat back first, and then use glutes, core, spine, everything up overhead. Okay, so this is the foundation of our practice right now. We're going to build in some flow with our breath. We're going to build in strength and releasing through that lower back and the hamstring. So inhale up, find that connection to your footwork. Arms out to the side or forward as you fold. Bend into your knees at first. Release your lower back. Then inhale and find length through the hamstrings and look out. Exhale, bend into the knees and fold. Relax the lower back. Release the head, neck, and shoulders. Inhale, straight legs, straight spine. Come all the way up overhead. We're going to do 3 more of these. And release. Okay, so finding that connection to your body. Find the connection to your feet. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold forward, bend into the knees. Inhale, flat back. Stretch the legs. Exhale, fold, release the back. Inhale, strength, straight legs, straight spine, all the way up. Reach and stretch, and then let go. All right, 2 more. Feel that connection. Inhale up. Exhale, fold. Bend the knees, release the back, relax the head. Inhale, straight legs, straight spine, hands to the shins, looking out. Exhale, bend the knees, relax the back. Inhale, straight legs, straight spine. Squeeze the glutes, come up, reach through those fingers. Exhale down. Beautiful. One more. Fold. This is bringing energy, circulation, everything through our body all at once. Flat back on the inhale. Exhale, release the spine, bend the legs. Inhale all the way up. And release. Should be feeling nice and warm now. All right, we're going to come into those warriors, opening up our hips and our spine a little bit. So we're going to start first, warrior one. We're going to press into that back leg. Remember, front foot is straight, back foot is about 45 degrees, or we come into a lunge and we press that heel into the ground, getting a big stretch through the back of the leg here. Remember, balance is key. So if you're feeling wobbly, take that front foot and bring it to the side of the mat and then lift the arms up overhead. When we are in a lunge, our hips will be in the straight position. Everything is straight, torso and hips. With our foot on the ground, make sure your hips are open slightly so that our knee can be in line with the toe direction. Take this moment, feel the connection to your feet here again. If your front knee is over your ankle, you're going to be able to lift your heel. We want to feel both feet fully grounded and rooted. Lift through those arms. Find that length through the spine. Release the shoulders down. Turn your torso. Ground that back foot if you're in a lunge and open up to the side. Open up your back foot a little bit, not past straight. Find the connection to your hips. So very important here, not like this. Sink, be center, and reach out. Now if it feels good, look over the head. Length through the neck and the shoulders. Now a little bit of balance here. Straighten that front leg for a triangle. Reach, and then fold. Remember, the fold is not how far you go. It's about a straight spine. So if you can open up through the hips and you can reach and you can keep that straight spine, do it. If not, one more breath here. And then inhale, come up. Exhale, you can bend into that front leg or keep it straight and just reverse it. Find length through your ribs. Remember, lifting out nice and long and then release. All right, we're going to change our position. We're going to bring our feet in towards the center on one line. So one line, feet turn in. We're about double shoulder width. Push out of the legs, nice and strong stance here. Hands on the hips to focus in on this rotation. Inhale, and then exhale, fold forward, and then relax the head, neck, and shoulders. Release the arms, and looking back. Nice straight legs here. You can even pick up your heels and turn them out a little bit more. This is going to change where you feel the stretch in the hamstrings and the back of the legs. We're going to take 2 more breaths here. Relax down a little bit more. Think about lifting your hips to the sky. And we're going to do 2 parts and coming up again. So we go hands to the hips first. Use that core strength to bring yourself flat. And then squeeze everything to come up. All right, we're going to turn. So we're going to go to the other side. So again, moving nice and slow. Bring that space in. However much feels good. One line is very challenging with our heels. So have that space for stability. It helps with our hips. Knee over ankle, front foot is straight, back foot's 45, hips are open. Or if we want that lunge variation, we square everything up to straight, hips and torso, and the arms reach overhead. So from this position, relax the shoulders down. Think about lifting your torso out of your hips so we have that space through the spine. And then hips are open if we're grounded through that back foot, but our torso is turned and we have that waist movement or spine movement. Check in, is it hard to lift your toes and your heels on both feet? If not, adjust that weight accordingly. One more breath. And now open to the side. So open your torso, let those arms hang down and open that back foot a little bit. Find level. So remember, hips centered. What happens here? That front knee typically comes in. Think about keeping it in line. Keep that weight centered over your foot still, even though we've turned open more. This is the big stretch and challenge in this pose. You can look down that front arm if it feels good. Listen to your body. We're going to do one more breath. And now we're going to straighten that front leg. We're going to reach forward and then fold. Remember, the goal is not to round. Nice straight spine. Think about folding from the hips, wherever is comfortable. If you have blocks, great opportunity to always experiment with which level feels best for your body. One more breath here. You can look down, neutral or up, whatever feels best. And then come up. Use everything. Okay, straight leg or bend into it. Reach that front arm overhead, palm facing down. Just a nice stretch through the ribs here. And then release. All right, back to that center position, feet turned in, one line. So adjust accordingly, toes turned into the center. Feel that push out of the legs, hands to the hips, lift the heart first, finding length, and then think about rotating as you exhale and fold forward and then relax those arms down. Again, same options. You can lift those heels and bring them out a little bit. Then rotate those hips a little bit further to the sky, folding forward. From here, you can stay in this forward fold, or you can walk your hands to one side, open up the ribs on the other. Big stretch through the side body here, and then back to center and across to the other side. Nice deep breaths. Really allow yourself to come back to center. Exhale and fold and release a little bit more. And then again, we're going to go flat back, so using all of our muscles. And then we're going to come up. All right, we're going to turn our feet out to the sides this time. Little bit of strength, little bit of stretch. So make sure they're about 45 degrees. And as we sink down, we're going to keep our knees in line as much as possible. So we're going to sink. You can bring those arms out if you'd like, if that feels good. And then we're going to come up and lift up. And then release. You can even draw the elbows in, getting a little bit of stretch here. But I want you to focus on the alignment in the knees more than anything else. So inner thigh strength, stretch of the hips as well, coming up, release, down, one more, lift, down, and back up. Turn those feet to straight. Relax the arms and back to that shoulder width apart stance. Just tuning into our hips for a moment. We're going to do 2 of those half sun salutations. So find that connection to your footwork. Find that grounded feeling. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, fold. Release the lower back by bending into the knees. And then straighten the legs and look up and out. Exhale and fold. This should become the normal for our practice. Inhale, length through the spine all the way up. and then release. This time we're going to hang down for just one more extra breath. So we're going to come inhale up, exhale, fold. We're going to take an extra breath here. Find that length through your lower back, shimmying through the ribs. Folding a little bit more on the exhale. And now continuing. Inhale, flat back, lengthen through the legs. Exhale, release down. Inhale all the way up. Exhale, release. All right, let's do a little bit more balance, a little bit more stretch. We're going to cross that left leg behind first and foremost, and then we're going to bring left arm overhead, right hand grabs the wrist, and then stretch. Just starting now with a nice stretch through the side body here. A little bit of a banana curve or crescent moon. Remember, try and relax the feet throughout every pose. So don't clench to grab to the ground. Don't push yourself too far. And now release. Back to center. Crossing over to the other side. So move slow. That will challenge you first and foremost. Then arms up. Left hand grabs the right wrist. Push the hips out to the right side. One more nice deep breath. And then release. Back to center. Now you can incorporate the legs being crossed again throughout these eagle arms. You could sink down into a chair pose if that feels good. All right. But I'm just going to stand in a neutral position, focusing in on the head, neck, and shoulders. Arms up, left arm underneath. Arms go to the sky, so elbows come together, bend at the elbows, backs of the arms touch, or we complete that twist with the palms. As we stand, in whatever position feels comfortable, lift the fingers and elbows up to the sky and press those shoulders down. Think about having length through the crown of your head. Standing in a neutral position, make sure that tailbone is still tucked down. Feel the weight in your feet. Use this moment to connect through the ground. And then release the arms, unwrap them, unwrap the legs if they're crossed. Lace the fingers behind the back, squeeze those shoulder blades together, drop the chin towards the chest. While you're here, you can think about lifting the arms up. You could draw the ear to the shoulder. Whatever feels good for a few more breaths. And then release. Release the arms, roll them back. Let them find neutral, and then other side. So arms up, right arm underneath, elbows together, bend to the sky, backs of the palms or forearms touch, or we complete that twist bringing the palms together. Lift up through the elbows and the fingers and press down through the shoulders. Think about pulling those shoulder blades apart. Check in on the spine alignment. Where's that weight in your feet? How is that affecting the hips, the spine, all the way through the crown of the head? Two more breaths. Lift up and press down a little bit more. And then release. Unwrap everything, reach out to the sides and then behind you. Options there to stay standing, lacing those fingers behind the back, squeezing the shoulder blades together, chin to chest, or if it feels good, bend and fold and then let the arms come overhead. Can even bend into the knees here so then that focus is on the shoulders opening, the chest opening as those arms fall closer to the earth. Completely up to you. Now release the arms, let everything hang if you're folding forward. If you're standing, just take another moment. with this, squeezing the shoulder blades together. And then we're going to slowly come up from this position. So just a nice, slow roll up, all the way up. Roll those shoulders back. All right, remember, balance is also affected by strength. So we're going to take a moment and check in on our chair pose. When we're in chair pose, feet should be hips distance apart for proper alignment with our knees and our ankles. We can always take a block and put it between to help squeeze for strength. And we're going to sink down. I'm going to turn so that you can see a couple of things. When we sink down, you could sink down this much. This is glorious. As long as your lower back is relaxed and we're not like this, okay? Feel the weight connected and centered. It's not a squat. Center that weight over your feet, okay? So from here, take a nice deep breath. Exhale, bend into those knees, arms up if that feels good. We're going to take 2 big breaths, maybe 3. Feel the legs burn, so push yourself for just a moment here. One more nice deep breath. And release. We're going to do one more, okay? So find that alignment, find that connection to your footwork. Remember, footwork is key for our knees, our hips, and our entire spine. Feel that weight. As you sink down, keep it centered. Lift those arms up. Tuck your tailbone down. Nice deep breath here. One more deep breath. Sinking down maybe a little bit more. And release. From here, half sun salutation. Inhale, arms up. Bend into those knees. Fold forward. Relax that low back. Head, neck, and shoulders hang down. Really release everything. Nice deep breath here. And then flat back. Inhale, lengthen the legs. Stretch through the hamstrings. Exhale, fold, bend the knees, release the low back. Really think about opening up. And then strengthen. Straighten the legs, flat back, come all the way up. Arms reach overhead. And release. All right, let's do a little bit of balance, getting into it just a little bit more. We're going to do a stretch as well as a balance exercise. So if you'd like to have a chair close by, we're going to challenge ourselves today in a new way. So we're going to balance in on that right foot. It's usually a little bit more stable. Find your connection first and then lift your knee up and use your arms to pull your knee up towards your chest. As you're here, relax that left foot. Just let it hang down. Try to let your shoulders release. You can always grab from underneath, behind the knee, whatever feels good. We're going to hold for a couple of breaths here. So you're going to feel those micro changes. Lift through the crown of your head. Remember to breathe. That's going to help. And now we're going to switch it up. So we're going to use just that right hand. We're going to take that left arm out for balance, like we're leaning on something. And then we're going to open to the side direction. So we're going to open and we're kind of balancing by using that arm to push out to the side. Take 2 more breaths. Remember, length through the whole body will help. Come back to center. Pull that knee up towards the chest. And then we're going to straighten that leg out. So lengthen through that leg, wherever that is for you, okay? Don't compromise form by leaning back. Just lifting that leg, holding it wherever is comfortable, and now release it down. And we're going to switch. So we're going to bend that knee, and we're going to grab the hand to the foot, the ankle, or our pants, and we're going to bring that foot or heel towards our hip. Bring our knees together. Some nice stretch through the front of the leg here. You can always use both hands if that feels good. Just find a nice stretch, maybe even leaning forward slightly, taking that opposite arm out for balance. All right, one more breath and release. Come back down. Find center, find neutral, okay? Then again, don't lock out the leg, lift through the crown of the head, right leg comes up. Pull, get a nice stretch through your hip here as we balance on one leg. That's the hard thing. How can we find stability while we're stretching? You're gonna feel those micro changes in your foot. That's okay, you're building strength. Relax the shoulders. All right, release the right arm so you can bring it out to the side, kind of imaginary push off a wall or a piece of furniture, and then we open to the side direction. Again, relax that foot down. Take a few deep breaths. Try to think about keeping your hips level even though we're opening to the side. So they're level this way, we're not tilting. And back to center. Use both arms to pull it up again. Nice big stretch here. And then same as before, pushing out with that foot, high or low, up to you. It could be all the way down here and then you touch. The big thing is don't lean back. Stay nice and centered. Lift up nice and tall. Okay, ready? Release. Bend that knee. See if you can just swoop it through to grab the foot or the ankle. Yep, laugh and smile. No matter what you're doing, balance work is hard. Okay, heel to hip. And again, that option is there to lift the arm up and fold forward. But that big thing being knees together, that foot you're grabbing, that leg is nice and straight so we feel that beautiful stretch through the front of the leg. And release. All right, let's find our connection to both feet again. So find that mountain pose. All right, feel strong and stable. Now switch into our tree pose. So switching to the right. Again, option is there to keep the toes on the ground. Hips should feel nice and juicy so that we can keep that knee open to the side. Take it to the calf or all the way to the thigh. Never pushing on the knee joint, causing it that stress. Arms overhead, hands to the heart or out to the side for stability. Whatever feels good and allows you to relax through the shoulders. Take a couple of breaths here. Think about lifting up nice and tall. One more nice deep breath. Really allow yourself to kind of relax through that foot. And then release. Back to center. Find your footwork. Shift, keeping that weight centered. Touch with the toes. Come to the calf. Skip over the knee to the thigh, wherever is comfortable. And again, arms out to the heart or overhead. Whatever is going to assist in balance. Take a few breaths. Try to relax the upper body so we feel light. And then we feel strong and stable through the legs. Two more breaths and release. Come back down. Let's open up those hips one more time. So bring those feet wide and we're going to sink down. So we're going to bring those arms up again on the inhale and we're going to exhale and open up through the hips. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower down, knees in line. Inhale up. Exhale down. Inhale. Last one, we'll exhale, lower down. And we'll inhale and come up. And then release the arms down. All right, we're going to do something I don't normally do because it's hard to learn over video. we're going to insert a downward facing dog to release those hamstrings and that lower back, but we're going to really focus in on our alignment. So we should be feeling nice and juicy through these areas. Turning to the side of your mat, remember we're going to do that half sun salutation, and we're going to pause through each aspect of this until we get to downward dog so we have great alignment. So we come inhale and we go up, and we exhale and we fold, bend into those knees. Inhale, we do that flat back. And then when we exhale and fold, this time we're going to ground our palms. So I want you to take a moment, find every inch of your palm on the mat. Now we're going to step back nice and slowly. You can go right to downward dog, but I encourage you to go to a plank first. Tighten through the belly, tighten the glutes and the thighs, feet or hips distance apart. Now we're going to lift our hips. Press into those palms. While you're here, let those heels come up as high as they can. Think about spreading your toes so that all of your toes are touching the mat. That weight is even from the big toe to the little toe side, allowing your knees to be in line with your hips and your feet direction. And then we're going to pedal our feet back and forth. So push into one heel, lift the other even higher, and go back and forth. Think about lifting your hips as high to the sky as possible. Push out of the shoulders. Take a couple of breaths here and really focus in. Can you lengthen through your neck a little bit more by letting the head hang down? We're pushing our arm strength right now. I want you to think about the hips and the legs for a moment. Draw your attention there. Then, if you'd like, come into that full downward dog by lifting the hips and relaxing everything for a couple of breaths. And from here, walk those feet forward. So bend into your knees and just walk the feet towards your palms. Relax everything down for a moment, bending into those knees. Release that lower back. And then we're going to do a big inhale, and we're going to come all the way up overhead, nice and slow. And we're going to release the arms. And we're going to come back. We're going to do one more nice slow one. So inhale up. We're going to insert that plank this time for sure. We're going to exhale and fold. Bend into the knees. Inhale, lengthen the legs and the spine, flat back. Bend your knees as much as you need to ground the palms. Slowly step back to plank. Find a great position. Now lower down to the knees. Relax the feet. And if you can, lower down with that push-up or chaturanga, or just slowly lower down onto the belly. However you need to get there. Nice and slow. Down to the belly. Relax the body for a moment. Release the arms. Bring them to the front so you can turn your head or rest on the forehead. Take a moment to relax the spine. We've done so much work today with the spine and the legs. Take 2 breaths here. And we're going to bring our hands slowly towards our shoulders. And we're going to do a little baby cobra. So we're going to lift that chest up. We're going to find length through the front of the body, relaxing those feet. And then we're going to release. Relax the head down. Relax the arms. And now we're going to bring the shoulders and elbows in line. So come up, bring the elbows under the shoulders, lift up, lift that chest. Think about finding length through the core. Relax those legs, lift out of the shoulders. and then release. So palms come down first. Relax everything. Head, neck, and shoulders, arms, everything resting on the forehead. And now you have one of those two options, or you can do the full variation, bringing those hands under the shoulders, pressing up, and then lifting the torso all the way. So folding, be careful of the lower back here. And then come back, child's pose, shift your weight, push out of the arms this time, find a big stretch through the lower back, the ribs, relax the head down. Think about shooting the hips to the heels. Find a big release through your spine here. And then inhale and come up onto all fours. Curl back your toes. Extend your palms forward maybe a little bit. We're going to come back to a nice plank, shoulders over wrists, and then we're going to go back to downward dog. So find a good position here. This shows you where you should be. And then lift the hips, press into the heels, back and forth. Look at your feet. Are they hips distance apart? Are they straight? Can you lift your hips a little bit further to the sky? Do you want to hold and stretch through the back of the legs, lifting those hips a little bit higher and letting the heels fall maybe a little bit closer? One more breath. And then we're going to slowly walk those feet up. So really bend into the knees. Hips distance apart. Inhale, flat back. Really extend through those legs. Exhale, fold forward. Relax everything down, bending into the knees a little bit. And then use all that strength. Inhale, come up. Exhale, release. Coming back into mountain pose for a few breaths. Take a moment here. Hips distance, shoulder width apart. Check in on the alignment of your body. Feel the difference. Reach those fingers down to the earth. Let the shoulders hang down. Check in on the knees, nice and soft. Weight is centered left and right, forward and back. Lower back is relaxed as we draw the navel towards the spine slightly. Take a few breaths here. Close the eyes. Notice the difference that you feel in your body. Try to relax everything as if we were laying on our mats. Two more breaths. And then we'll take a big inhale, reach those arms up overhead. Exhaling, hands come down to the heart. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you're feeling great and you enjoyed today's session. Namaste. Thank you, everyone.